Mindset reset today, traders. It's free cash Thursday. We'll have a bit of fun today, I hope. It was a huge day, and a huge day for several traders. I've made some notes. I'm going to talk about some simple things. So one of the first things I want to talk about is front side, backside. A lot of people have asked, what's front side, backside? Well, think of it this way. Let's just consider that Wednesday is the hump day. So Wednesday at 12 noon New York time, 12 noon is the halfway point between Monday and Friday, between the opening range and the closing range of the week. So if you consider that Wednesday is hump day, Monday's the opening range, and by the time we get to the midpoint, the midday, the middle of the week at 12 o'clock New York Standard Time, New York Eastern Time, whatever you want to use, I just call it New York time. That's the halfway point. That's the hump day. That's the midpoint range. And once we pass that, we're now closer to the end of the week than we are to the front of the week. So that's the backside. Now, a great question from a trader is that people confuse that it always has to be pump and dump or dump and pump. And as we saw in oil, trader said, yeah, but it's the backside. It is the backside, and it doesn't matter if it's a trending week. Day 1, day 2, day 3, reset, day 1, day 2, day 3. It's a trend trade. And if you'll notice, Monday, Tuesday on oil was a day 0 template. Opening range, initial balance, there's your high low for the week, peak formation low, peak formation high, coil, parabolic move coming out of London that begins the range expansion, which that high low of that range was a projected 200% expansion outside of that range. So when that got hit today on oil. So front side, backside doesn't mean that it has to go the opposite direction, but we're closer to the end of the week and we can see trending templates. It doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 down. It can be 1, 2, 3, and that resets as day 1 and continues day 2, day 3 into the closing range of the week. So we're on Thursday, tomorrow's free cash Friday. So number 1, front side, backside. So front side, backside, another way to understand that is that, and this is where traders, you've got to, if you're getting burnt, stop chasing candle action and start just stepping back and looking for templates. The templates are the same all the time. Okay? If you're looking for the same template on the same instrument every week, then you're going to get burnt because you're not going to get the same template on the same instrument. We're going to have economic calendar that's going to affect the templates, how they'll set up, how the major pairs will set up. Even as I showed, just the session opportunities on the Asian ranges. Markets that closed out of balance on Wednesday gave parabolic opportunities on Thursday, Wednesday evening, Thursday's Asian session. We had them on day 3 as well on Wednesday in the Asian session on different pairs. So every week we're going to have different templates, but the opportunities are going to be there. Range expansion. So let's go back to the opening range and initial balance. Monday's the opening range that sets the initial high low for the week. We may have a range expansion on a Monday. A range expansion is a day that will expand or break a previous day's level. It may actually open and break out outside of a range and stay there. As I talk about, don't counter trend a day 1 runner. We can have Monday expand the range and set the high low for that first 3 days. As I said in previous videos, notes, the playbook, in a high percentage of cases, by the time Monday and Tuesday has traded, one of those extremes will tend to hold, if not both. We can get a trading range for the entire week that's established within that first 2 days. Occasionally, Tuesday will be an inside day. That's a different template. So guess what? Day 1, inside day, a narrow range day. Understand that a narrow range day is a coil, a compressive coil. If we have a market that's trending and breaking out and goes to an inside day, we can get a trend continuation. If we get an inside day on a Wednesday, we can get different templates that pump up inside day, false break on a Thursday for a breakdown. We can get range expansion up, as we saw in Canadian dollar, dump, coil sideways, short squeeze setup, a higher high on the inside. It all depends on how it sets up. But step back and wait for a template to set up for a parabolic opportunity. I want you to think what asymmetrical risk reward is. So I'm getting questions about gap times, higher highs in the gap, and Asian range, initial, London's gap time and all this. Okay, listen, I don't know where you're getting that from. I'm talking about high and low of the day, expanding the range, high and low of the week. That creates asymmetrical risk reward. If you are trading on the inside, like gold today, we'll talk about that in a moment, you need to be in a parabolic coil. If you're trading on the inside, be prepared, if you don't have a parabolic coil, that you are trading on the inside in a previous day's range, an inside day, and you can get chopped up. That is not a best trade candidate. We'll talk about the news catalyst in a second. But I want you to understand that when a market expands the range, so euro, pound, day one pushes a bit lower. People are calling that a failed breakout. It's not a failed breakout. It's a range expansion. A failed breakout is when you need at least 2 days to have a failed breakout. Okay? I need you to understand that. It is not a failed breakout. If you're mixing all that up, okay, that's what's going to cause you problems. It is not a failed breakout until the opposite side of the day is violated either on the same day or the following day. Then you have a failed breakout. And if it happens on the same day, that's an outside day, and there are setups that can come off of an outside day as well. So, range expansion, euro pound, and the next day's an inside day. Well, the bells should be ringing, because if we've made a lower low or a higher high on a day two, immediately we now have an opening range and an initial balance, a range expansion, where that Monday's closing price level could become significant, which it was on several pairs. Pound, the euro took out the high of the week, I believe, but it reversed and coiled underneath of the opening range, underneath closing price as well. And as I said to Matt, after major red news, universal entry criteria on the short squeeze on the Canadian dollar, on the euro, on every single pair after the news, New Zealand dollar, pound, it's all coiled inside of the universal EMA heading into our second hour and the New York Open, and it's already going parabolic for easy free cash, a 3-day setup. Why is it 3 days? And this is what I keep repeating. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is a template. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is a template. Day 3 is Wednesday. Day 3 is Friday. If we get a parabolic opportunity on a Tuesday, right, 3 days backwards is Tuesday, Monday, Friday. Occasionally, maybe Friday's inside of Thursday or something like that, but it's a 3-day template. If it's a Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If it's a Monday, Thursday, Friday, Monday. It's that simple. But the Monday to Friday template, listen, Monday opens the week, Friday closes the week. There's a grand organized design. You will find different templates throughout different pairs, and you will also find 3-day setups and 3-session parabolic opportunities on those other days if you have a basket of instruments that reflects the opportunities that are going to present, cross rates as well as major pairs, oil, gold, and indexes. And as one trader said, well, several traders have said it the last couple days, you only need one. The indexes today gave huge opportunities, as did major currency pairs. So the next thing, talking about the range expansions. So we've talked about day 1, day 2, establishing the range and range expansions. That's why we can get 3 days of breakout traders in the markets. But a range expansion coming off of a parabolic trade on Thursday, we're on the backside now. So we've had our stair step and our dump. In some cases, the pump, obviously the Canadian dollar. When it goes parabolic, oil, it's in a range expansion, don't counter trend. So here's the thing, it may come back later. It may come back tomorrow in the Asian session. It might come in London. It might be a three session reversal opportunity tomorrow in the US, or it may not. Don't counter trend. They have people trapped. And it defies logic, because people who are counter trending, it can be a day that will just continue to break down and smash retail or anybody else who's trying to counter trend, and they're not going to let anybody out. And if people have moved their stops, or they're averaging into a loser because they bought on the way up or they sold on the way down, they are not going to let you out. They are going to margin you out. This may close at the extreme for the day or near the extreme for the day. So be thinking about that. If you miss the trade, that is not a problem, okay? There'll be plenty more. There will be plenty more trades. If you are trying to catch a move because now you feel like you missed out, you didn't see the template, we'll talk about that in a moment, don't chase or try to counter trend these types of markets because they are designed to continue to break down in a lot of cases and close at the extreme and then maybe reverse in Asia or London. And there may be a parabolic opportunity in Asia on any of the pairs that start to jam down low or up high and consolidate. So don't counter trend these types of market conditions. So gold inside day yesterday, several traders asked what best trade setup was. Well, there were two opportunities, but the news catalyst, so as I repeat, major red news, if you're in before or you're trading the news, I look at gold when there's news. That's it. I'm not worried about trading the other pairs. Potentially there can be other setups, 3-day templates on Fed, on payrolls. Those are different situations. But a news catalyst opportunity like this, we're on an inside day. All it was, we had a creeping trend down. That market jammed 1, 2, 3, coiled sideways, major round numbers into the peak formation low from yesterday's U.S. session. So as I explained to Sai, that's a stop hunt into U.S. session longs, coiled sideways and gave a parabolic explosive move into lower level shorts at the beginning of the U.S. session, a 50 pip box, and then several traders shorted the move back down underneath the closing price, back to that low of session level established in the news catalyst. So that's separate from trading that, there's no first green day opportunity. That was underneath closing price and it kept breaking down. That is the red flag right away because they're going after inside bar lows and creeping trend down. Again, an example of where we could see a parabolic opportunity in Asia on lower level shorts. Don't know, not a trade recommendation, but a creeping trend down low into the bottom of the week into the U.S. session, has U.S. session traders down low. That's ripe fruit in a lot of cases, especially on gold, for a parabolic move in Asia. On the backside and the closing range Friday, day 3, the closing range of the week. So we'll see how that potentially could set up. It may not. It could just consolidate. We might see something in London. Don't know, obviously. So the inside day on gold. Now, speaking of inside days, so there were some great examples. New Zealand and Aussie, 2 examples. Both had inside days. New Zealand dollar false broke the high of the inside day for a parabolic move down. So again, comparing the two, there were several inside day false break opportunities directly right out of the playbook. Easy free cash after major red news and inside of our universal entry criteria. No analysis paralysis. It's completely dummy proof in order to hit that trade. And we have a 3-day template. That's a pump and dump. Lower lows. Pump, 1, 2, 3. News catalyst. Nothing. After major red news, the coil for the parabolic explosive move back through the low of the week. Lower low on the inside. Higher high on the Canadian dollar. Higher high on the inside. So, big thing on these days, I will say this in closing. Don't counter trend a day if you've missed the trade. If you've missed the trade, so a couple traders saying, well, there's, it's different all the time. There's different templates. So here's the thing. There's only so certain great quality templates. And if you don't see a template, then you shouldn't trade. So one trader asked me, Canadian dollar hit the high of the week. He said, I shorted this. Is that a trading setup? It's not my trading setup. So another question was, where do I get out? I'm in this trade. Where could it go to? Well, here's the thing, Peter Brandt. You should have well-defined entry criteria and exit criteria. How you're going to manage your risk, how you're going to manage your position sizing, how you're going to either scale into a trade, how you're going to scale out of a trade. If you get into a trade, you should already know where you're getting out. And there's only really 2 things that you need to determine once you decide or have criteria met to enter a trade. How much you're going to lose and how much you're going to make. in profits. One of the two. How much are you going to lose? How much are you going to make? So, again, if you're missing the trades, step back. They're not going to go away. They're not going to change. They are not going to change. These are the same templates, week in and week out, month in and month out. So if you are struggling, don't get frustrated. Stop trading. You shouldn't be trading unless you see this. So if they expand the range on a Monday, we either have a higher high or a lower low, one of the two, right? If it's an inside day, then you have your high and low range met, and you either have a inside day opportunity or a trend trade opportunity from a larger 3-day template, right? Friday, Monday, Tuesday. So on a day 3, we're either looking for parabolic trend trades or parabolic reversal trades. We got a parabolic reversal trade on the NASDAQ. Great example. It was a parabolic long trade on the euro that took out the high of the week. Day 2 made a lower low. So think about it this way also. I talked about going sideways yesterday at one of the levels. So if I'm in the US session and the euro is already working high, that means that I'm on the last level if I participate in that market, which is why I'm always looking for something that's coiled sideways. But when that market's up high, guess who could be low-hanging fruit the next day? The US session. Start thinking like that. If you're chasing moves up higher, down low, that can be the next day's low-hanging fruit, whether it's Asia or London. And that's where you're potentially going to get the parabolic coil. Is there major red news? We wait till after the news. So this has been an incredible week, and today was a golden opportunity. And one thing with Thursday on the indexes, we've already gone up day 1, day 2, day 3, and pumped up one more time. Once that broke down to closing price, it's an all-in day. It's an all-in day. They are going on a range expansion, and some traders tried to counter trend DJ30, the NASDAQ, S&P went sideways at the high before breaking down and then coiled right into the open at closing price. An explosive move. They are not coming back. And we had first red day on, I think, NASDAQ or S&P, I can't remember, NASDAQ. But it pumped up higher again today. But today's closing price has, wherever it closed, we've taken out the low of the day levels. These are now first red day signal days. They may not give a first red day trade tomorrow. They might pump up. They may do nothing tomorrow. They can coil inside. But I want to say this in closing. Listen closely. If they are first red days, don't lose sight of first red day, because these can go Friday, Monday, Tuesday. They could go Friday, Monday and roll over Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for range expansions. We could be in for some very huge opportunities. Today was free cash Thursday. Congratulations, but just step back. There's going to be plenty of opportunities, but the templates are the same over and over and over again. Congratulations, traders. Huge day, huge week. Step back, because today a small account could have easily doubled just by staying in the trade. And for those of you, some of you sized into some of these, congratulations. There's been some big paydays today. Keep it simple, traders. Have a great day, and may the markets go with you.